Hello students, I hope you all have seen part 1, 2 and 3 of chapter 4 National Movements in India. See, in part 3 we discussed about revolutionary movement in Gujarat and then the revolutionary movement in foreign countries also, and then we discussed about the Minto reforms and the arrival of Gandhiji to India. Now moving ahead, let us see in part 4 about the Rolex Act and Jallianwala Bagh. Let us begin with the part 4. Rolex Act in the year 1990. See, I'll explain you what is written in this paragraph about Rolex Act which was held in 1990. See, the British government, they came with an intention. Why? To suppress the revolutionist and nationalist movement in India. And what they did, they formed a new act that was called as Rolex Act, and it was in the year 1919 AD. See, this Rolex Act, an English Minister of Law was the chairman of this Rolex Act, and this act aimed why to suppressing individual independence and freedom of speech in India, and so it was known as the Black Act. And under this act, what happened? The British could arrest anyone who appeared doubtful to them, and they could imprison him without conducting any case against him. See why it has been called as this Rolex Act is known as the Black Act. So the British government now, with an intention to suppress the revolutionarist and nationalist in India, they formed a new act, and that was known as Rolex Act. And under this act, what happened? The individual independence and the freedom of speech of Indians, that was being suppressed. And moreover, what happened? The British government, they could arrest any doubtful person, and they can also imprison him without conducting any case against him. So hence, due to all these reasons, the Rolex Act was also known as Black Act. And see, Motilal Nehru, he stated that this act was formed to take away the right of argument, appeal and advocacy from Indians. See why this act was, according to Nehruji, this act was formed by to take away all the rights of the people of arguments, appeal and advocacy from the Indian people. And the people opposed this act very strongly. Why? Because this act gave wide powers to the British to suppress opposition. So because of this, the meetings, rallies, shows and strikes, they all things were organized at many places against this act. And the British also arrested Gandhiji under the reason of opposing this act. See, Gandhiji was being arrested by because he was opposing the Rolex Act, and Gandhiji's arrest resulted what happened, a severe opposition against British government at places like Delhi, Amritsar, Ahmedabad, etc. It took place, and the popular leader of Punjab like Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Khichlu were also arrested. And see, rallies were organized in Lahore and Amritsar. Why? To oppose their arrest, because they've been arrested. To oppose their arrest, rallies were organized in Lahore and Amritsar. Now moving ahead, we will see about Jallianwala Bagh massacre. See, in this Jallianwala Bagh massacre, what was it? Took place in the on 13th March 1990. So I'll explain you what is written over here. See, when the popular leaders like Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Khichlu, they were arrested where in Amritsar, Punjab, a public gathering they were organized where it was organized in the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar on the day of Baisakhi. See, if it is asked who have been arrested, so the Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Khishlu, they were arrested in Amritsar, and a public gathering were organized where in the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, on which day? On the day of Baisakhi. Why? To oppose the arrest. And see, General Ordinal he reached there with his troops. See, he came with his military troops. He came over there without giving any warning. He ordered his men to open fire. He told his men to open fire on an innocent people. See, innocent people were over there. He told them to open fire on them with the machine guns of the innocent people. And the bagh was surrounded by high walls. See this, there was a high walls on four sides of this bagh, and in the middle there was unused well. See, in all the four side it was covered with a huge wall. High walls were, so nobody can climb up and move the other side, can go climb and go the other side. It was not possible because the walls were very high, and there was unused well also were there, and only way to out be narrow. There was a narrow way to go out. Was a number of people lost their life in this firing. See, many people lost their life, as it was surrounded by the walls, and the wells were the unused wells, and there was only one way opening. And what happened to move out the bagh, where General Dyer was armed with his men. And as per the government report, what was it? That 379 people were killed and 1200 people they were injured. See, whereas as per the inquiry committee, when the inquiry committee was appointed by whom? By the Congress. See, they said that 1000 persons were killed. In their report it was 1000 people were killed. And the Hunter Commission who investigated, see, the other who investigated this case was Hunter Commission, and what he investigated on the behalf of British. He came from the behalf of British, investigated this case, and he defended General Dyer. And see, the commission forgave him by calling it an innocent mistake. See what he said, it's an innocent mistake that took place unknowingly. And the British government, instead of punishing General Dyer for his inhuman act, see this he should be punished, but the British government didn't punish him, and for his this inhuman act, and forgave him. So moreover, it appreciated him, and he honored with him with a sword and 2000 pounds. See, pounds was given. How many? 2000 pounds were, and a sword was being awarded to him. And this incident gave a severe shock to the people of India. And see this, because of this incident, that General Dyer, because of his all these inhuman act, he killed lots of people at Jallianwala Bagh, and then too he was also honored by swords and 2000 pounds. It was really a severe shock to the people of India, and this incident, and Gandhiji totally lost his faith in the British government. And see, the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy that played an important role in establishing unity all over the India. And this tragedy also played an important role where in preparing the background for the non-cooperation movement. See, because of this, it arised, it played a role, it was being played for preparing for a non-cooperation movement. Now let us move ahead. That we will see is Kalifat Movement. See, the Kalifat Movement, it was a movement during the First World War. And see, this Turkey together with Germany, they fought the First World War. Against whom? Against the England. And they lost it. And after the war, what happened? The England forced Turkey. Why? What to do? To sign a treaty and capture it many provisions. They started capturing their provisions, and Turkey was also forced. And the other thing what was being forced to Turkey, that to follow several unjust terms and condition. They have to follow unjust terms and condition also. And the Sultan of Turkey was also the religious head, that is called Khilafat at Muslim worldwide. See, the movement in India, see this, the Sultan of Turkey at that time he was Khalifa, the head of Muslim. and the movement in India to oppose the strict terms imposed on Turkey and the Sultan. See, this movement in India, they also oppose the strict terms which was being imposed on Turkey and on the Sultan. They came to be known as Khilafat movement. And see, so the movement that started by the Indians to protest for the unjust terms of British against the Khilafat, that came to be known as Khilafat movement. And see, Ali brothers, namely Maulana Shaukat Ali and Maulana Muhammad Ali, were the chief leader of this movement. See, who were the chief leader of this movement? Ali brothers, and their name was Maulana Shaukat Ali and Maulana Muhammad Ali. And to maintain Hindu-Muslim unity, see, what was there to maintain Muslim and Hindu unity? Gandhiji requested Congress to support this movement, to support this Khilafat movement. And the movement then became strong with the support of Congress. See, then this movement, it became strong. Why? Because the support was there of Congress. I hope you all have understood till here. In the next, we will move ahead.